The life of the Duchess of Kent, a remarkable woman whose kindness, dignity, and service touched countless lives. She passed away peacefully at the age of 92, surrounded by her family at Kensington Palace. The Duchess was born Catherine Lucy Mary Worsley on February 22, 1933, in Yorkshire, England. She grew up as the only daughter of Colonel Sir William Worsley and Lady Worsley at Hovingham Hall, near York. From a young age, Catherine lived in a world shaped by tradition and service. That sense of service never left her. In 1961, she married Edward, Duke of Kent, the grandson of King George V. Their wedding took place at York Minster in a grand ceremony that captured the attention of the nation. Edward, known affectionately as Steady Eddie for his dependable service to the crown, and Catherine began their royal journey together. Though the two lived largely separate lives in later years, they never divorced, and Catherine remained deeply respected within the royal family. Many will remember the Duchess of Kent for her connection to one of Britain's most cherished traditions, Wimbledon. For decades, she was a familiar and graceful presence at the tennis championships, presenting trophies to winners and offering comfort to those who lost. One moment in particular stands out in history. In 1993, when Czech player Jana Novotná lost the women's singles final to Steffi Graf, she broke down in tears after surrendering a strong lead. The Duchess put her arm around Novotná, held her as she cried, and whispered words of encouragement. "I know you can do it." 5 years later, Novotná returned to Wimbledon and won, with the Duchess herself presenting the trophy. It was a story of grace, empathy, and the power of kindness. Yet the Duchess was also unafraid to stand by her principles. In 1999, she became upset with Wimbledon officials when they refused to allow her to bring the young son of Philip Lawrence, a head teacher who had been tragically murdered, into the royal box. For Catherine, people mattered more than protocol. Her life took another historic turn in 1994 when she became the first member of the royal family in more than 300 years to convert to Catholicism. This was a profound personal decision, reflecting her faith and convictions. She chose to be known simply as Catherine, or Mrs. Kent, and stepped back from public life in 2002, giving up her Royal Highness style. But stepping away from royal duties did not mean stepping away from service. Quite the opposite. For more than a decade, the Duchess taught music at a state primary school in Hull. After visiting the school in 1996, she volunteered to help with music lessons. Week after week, she taught 40-minute classes, led the choir, and inspired children who might never have had such opportunities. She also taught part-time at a school in Hammersmith, West London, where many of the pupils lived in Grenfell Tower. Beyond the classroom, she volunteered with the Samaritans, served as a UNICEF ambassador, and in 2004, founded the charity Future Talent. This organization works to give children from low-income families the chance to thrive in music, breaking down barriers that often stand in the way of talent. Throughout her long life, Catherine was admired for her empathy, her humility, and her ability to connect with people far outside the royal world. She cared deeply for young people, for education, and for the healing power of music. After Queen Elizabeth II passed in 2022, the Duchess of Kent became the oldest member of the royal family. Even in her later years, she carried herself with quiet grace. Buckingham Palace, in announcing her passing, said, "The King and Queen and all members of the royal family join the Duke of Kent, his children and grandchildren in mourning their loss and remembering fondly the Duchess's lifelong devotion to all the organizations with which she was associated, her passion for music, and her empathy for young people." Her funeral, expected to be held at Westminster Cathedral, will be the first Catholic funeral for a member of the royal family in modern British history. It is likely to be led by Cardinal Vincent Nichols, the Archbishop of Westminster, and attended by King Charles, Queen Camilla, and other senior royals. Ladies and gentlemen, the Duchess of Kent may have lived in palaces and carried a royal title, but she will be remembered most for her humanity. She showed us that kindness can be powerful, that service can be quiet yet transformative, and that empathy is the true measure of greatness. May her memory inspire us all to lead with compassion, just as she did.